quiet hum of mission control centers around the world, a gentle thought is taking shape. For half a century, humanity has remained close to home, tracing familiar paths in the sky just above our atmosphere. We have looked down upon our world, a beautiful blue marble suspended in the quiet dark. The memories of footprints on another world have softened, becoming like a dream from a distant time, a gentle echo. But what if that long, quiet pause is nearing its end? Imagine slowly a vessel preparing not for a race, but for a pilgrimage, a return to the deep, silent ocean of space. This is the contemplation of Artemis II. 4 souls will journey farther from home than anyone in a generation, 250,000 miles into the profound and peaceful dark. They will not land. They will only circle the moon, a silent partner in a cosmic dance, and then gently return. It is a journey that poses a quiet, wondrous question. Why travel so far, only to return without setting foot? The answer, perhaps, is not in the destination, but in the stillness of the journey itself. Section: The Vessel of Quiet Ambition. At the heart of this quiet endeavor are 2 marvels of gentle engineering, designed for a journey of deliberate calm. They are the Space Launch System, or SLS, and the Orion Crew Capsule. Imagine the SLS standing on its launch pad in the pre-dawn light. Steam vents in slow, silent plumes, like the soft breath of a sleeping giant. It is not a machine of aggression, but a vessel of immense potential, a carefully assembled collection of human ingenuity, humming with a deep, latent energy. It stands taller than any monument, a silent testament to a patient dream. Its design is a quiet evolution, a descendant of the Saturn V that once carried explorers on similar journeys. Its engines, which once powered the graceful glide of the space shuttle, are being asked to perform a different task, not a sprint, but a single, powerful, and steady push, a gentle release from the embrace of Earth's gravity. Imagine this slowly, the immense energy not as an explosion, but as a deep, resonant hum that lifts the Orion capsule, setting it softly on its path into the void. The purpose is singular: to place this small human sanctuary onto a path of serene coasting, a trajectory aimed toward the silent, waiting moon. But what is truly remarkable about this vessel is how it was designed for stillness. Once free, the Orion capsule becomes a self-contained world, a floating monastery in the cosmos. Drift deeper into this image. Inside, 4 astronauts are suspended in near silence, surrounded by panels that emit a soft, steady glow. Each light, each number on the screen, is a quiet whisper of information, a heartbeat, a pressure reading, a measure of distance from home. For 10 days, this capsule will be their haven, protecting them from the deep cold and the silent streams of radiation. It is their observation deck for looking out upon the river of stars, and their gentle vessel for the long drift home. Think of the long history of exploration. Early mariners surrounded by the creaks and groans of wooden ships, battling fierce storms. The Artemis journey is different. It is a voyage defined by quiet calculation and serene observation. The capsule is designed to be a bubble of calm in the vast, silent cathedral of space. Every system is redundant. Every procedure is rehearsed, all to ensure the journey is as peaceful as the destination appears. The hum of the life support system becomes a mantra, a steady rhythm against the backdrop of perfect silence. This is the nature of a modern exploration, a quiet, methodical extension of human presence, one gentle push at a time. Section: The Celestial Ballet. The path of Artemis II is not a straight line, but an elegant, looping trajectory, a piece of choreography written in the language of gravity. Imagine the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun, not as static points, but as partners in a slow, perpetual dance. The mission planners are not commanders, but choreographers seeking the perfect moment to join this dance. This is the gentle truth of the launch window. It is not a deadline to be frantically met, but a quiet invitation from the cosmos. For a few days, a few times a year, the alignment is just right. The Earth is tilted perfectly, the Moon is in the correct phase of its orbit, and the Sun is positioned to illuminate the path. Imagine a narrow corridor of light opening up between worlds. Stepping into this corridor at the right moment allows the Orion capsule to ride the gentle currents of space-time. It uses Earth's momentum as a starting point and aims for a point in space where the Moon will be waiting. It is a journey of immense precision, but it feels like a slow, effortless drift. But the most beautiful part of this dance is how the Moon itself participates. As Orion approaches, it doesn't fight the Moon's gravity. It yields to it. It allows itself to be caught in the Moon's gentle embrace, swinging around the far side in a graceful, silent arc. This maneuver, a free return trajectory, is a testament to celestial harmony. It uses the Moon's own mass to bend its path, slinging it into a higher, deeper orbit that takes it thousands of miles beyond our celestial neighbor, before guiding it back for the long coast home. It is a journey that requires almost no fuel, only a deep understanding of the music of the spheres. Drift deeper into this thought. For centuries, astronomers watched these movements from afar, plotting them on paper, dreaming of what it would be like to travel upon these invisible pathways. Now we are learning to sail on these gravitational tides. The mission is a shakedown cruise, yes, but it is also a lesson in cosmic partnership. It is about learning to move with the universe, not against it. The quiet hum of the navigation computers is the sound of humanity listening patiently to the rhythm of the solar system, waiting for the right moment to begin the next measure of a long and beautiful symphony. Section: The Puzzle of Return. The journey home is a moment of profound transition. It is the final movement in the celestial ballet, where the vessel returns from the silent, cold void to the warm, breathing atmosphere of Earth. An object returning from lunar distance travels at incredible speed, meeting the thin outer layers of our air at nearly 25,000 miles per hour. At this velocity, the air itself transforms, creating a sheath of glowing, superheated gas around the capsule. It is not an inferno, but a luminous cocoon, a final fiery embrace before homecoming. Standing between the crew and this intense energy is the heat shield. Imagine it not as a brute force wall, but as a work of intricate sacrificial art. It is a wide, dark dish made of a material called AV coat. It is an ablative shield. This means it is designed to gently flake away, piece by piece, carrying the intense heat with it. It is a process of slow, controlled erosion, a story written in fire and plasma. Each fleck of material that drifts away is a small parcel of energy released back into the atmosphere. After the uncrewed flight of Artemis I, engineers gently recovered the capsule from the ocean. In quiet, clean rooms, they examined the heat shield with a sense of deep curiosity. They found that the material had charred and flaked in a pattern that was different from what their models had predicted. It was not a failure. It was a surprise, a new riddle presented by the physics of re-entry. For a mission with no one aboard, this was a fascinating new piece of the puzzle. For a mission with 4 souls returning home, it became a point of deep, quiet contemplation. But what surprised the engineers most was the beauty in the unexpected pattern. Instead of a crisis, they saw an opportunity to learn. NASA's engineers are now in a period of patient study. They are not racing against a clock, but drifting through vast oceans of data. They run simulations on supercomputers, creating digital twins of the re-entry, watching the flow of heat in slow motion. Each simulation is a meditation. Each ground test is a quiet conversation with the material itself, asking it to reveal its secrets. They are learning the language of the char, seeking to understand the story it tells, so they can ensure the return journey is as serene as the voyage out. This is not a problem to be solved, but a deeper understanding to be reached. Section: A Whisper of Water. While some engineers contemplate the journey home, others are dreaming of a future on the moon itself. For decades, the moon was seen as a beautiful but barren desert, a silent gray world of dust and rock. But a new understanding has slowly dawned, whispered back to us from robotic probes and orbiters. It is the confirmation of water, not flowing rivers, but something far more precious, ancient ice, hidden in craters at the moon's south pole that have not seen sunlight in billions of years. Imagine these craters, deep, silent bowls of perpetual shadow. Within them, the temperature is colder than anywhere on Earth, and in that deep, abiding cold, crystals of water ice are mixed in with the lunar soil, like tiny, scattered jewels. For a long time, this was only a theory, a hopeful dream. But quiet, methodical explorers, like China's Chang'e landers, have sent back confirmation from the surface. They have touched this frozen water. This changes the contemplation of the moon entirely. Drift deeper into this realization. The moon is no longer just a destination. It is a place of potential. The presence of water frozen in time is the single most profound discovery in our solar system beyond Earth. Imagine the quiet possibility. This is not just water to drink. It is water that can be gently split into its component parts. Oxygen, to fill habitats with breathable air, and hydrogen, a powerful, clean fuel for the next generations of spacecraft. The silent gray moon begins to look like a garden, waiting for patient hands to tend it. And so, the lunar South Pole has become a place of shared interest, a point on the map where multiple journeys of discovery are converging. It is not about ownership or control. It is about a collective curiosity. What surprised researchers most was how much water might be there. It suggests a future where explorers on the moon are not completely dependent on Earth. The moon could become a gentle oasis, a quiet rest stop on the long road to Mars and beyond. The nation or group that first learns the quiet art of gathering and purifying this ice will not be a conqueror, but a gardener, unlocking a new way for humanity to live and journey in space. Section: Parallel Paths to a Shared Horizon. As humanity contemplates this return to the moon, the effort is not a single, monolithic push, but a tapestry woven from many different threads. On one side, there is the Artemis program, a collaboration of many nations gently working together. On another, there is the vision for an international lunar research station, led by China and its partners. These are not opposing forces in a race. It is more like two groups of artists standing on different hills, painting the same beautiful landscape of the moon, each with their own style and perspective. Imagine the quiet, methodical cadence of the Chang'e program, a series of robotic missions, each one a careful, deliberate step. They have landed on the far side of the moon, a place of profound silence and mystery. They have deployed rovers that whisper across the dust, and have gently returned samples of lunar soil to Earth for study. Their future missions are designed as complex, multi-part explorations, with landers and rovers and even small hopping probes designed to drift down into those shadowed craters to get a closer look at the frozen water. They are not just visiting the moon. They are patiently learning its secrets. At the same time, a new and fascinating thread has been woven into this tapestry. Private companies, visionaries who dreamed of space travel not as the sole domain of governments, but as a shared human endeavor. Companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are no longer just contractors. They are fellow travelers with their own vessels and their own quiet ambitions. NASA is not going to the moon alone anymore. The landers that will carry future astronauts to the surface are being built by these new partners. The tools for living on the moon are being designed in their workshops. This introduces a gentle, contemplative question. What does it mean for humanity's presence in space to be composed of so many different voices? The old agreements, written in an era of two superpowers, spoke of celestial bodies as the province of all mankind, not to be claimed by any nation. But they were silent on the idea of a private group building a quiet settlement. This is not a source of conflict, but a reason for reflection. It requires us to think more deeply about what it means to be a guest in the cosmos. It is less about planting flags and more about planting gardens. It is less about claiming territory and more about learning to be responsible stewards of a new silent frontier. Section The Dream of a Lunar Sanctuary. To understand the quiet journey of Artemis II, we must look beyond its 10-day flight toward the gentle dream that it is designed to enable. This single flight is a prelude, the first soft note in a long and unfolding symphony. The roadmap that follows is ambitious, yet serene. A multi-decade vision of a permanent human presence, living and working in the quiet light of the moon. Imagine, a few years from now, the flight of Artemis II. This is the journey that will gently carry humans back to the lunar surface. They will descend toward the South Pole, the place of shared interest, their landing guided by the soft glow of their instruments. Their lander, a version of SpaceX's Starship, will be a testament to this new, quiet partnership between public and private dreams. They will spend nearly a week on the surface, their movements slow and deliberate in the low gravity. They will be gardeners and geologists, collecting samples of that precious ice, their work illuminated by the stark, beautiful light of the unfiltered sun. Drift deeper into this vision. Following this return, other missions will begin to build. They will deliver the pieces of the Lunar Gateway, a small, peaceful station orbiting the moon. It will not be a fortress, but a harbor, a quiet place for travelers to pause, to prepare for journeys to the surface, or to simply watch the Earth rise and set over the lunar horizon. The gateway will hum with the quiet energy of science and contemplation, a permanent human thought, suspended in the void between worlds. And from there, the dream of the Artemis base camp can slowly take shape. Imagine a small cluster of habitats nestled on the rim of a crater. They're bathed in the near-constant sunlight of the lunar pole, their solar panels drinking in the light like leaves. From this gentle sanctuary, robotic rovers can descend into the nearby shadows, quietly gathering the ice that will sustain the outpost. This is the foothold that allows for a sustainable, long-term presence. It is a source of fuel and air that allows us to break our reliance on the long journey from Earth. The group that builds this first will not be a gatekeeper, but a host, welcoming others to this new, quiet chapter of the human story. Section: The Meaning of the Quiet Return. So what is the deeper meaning of this single 10-day flight? The journey of Artemis II is a quiet meditation on possibility. Its success is not measured in speed or dominance, but in precision, patience, and the peaceful execution of a deeply complex plan. A delay in the timeline would not be a catastrophe. It would simply be a pause for deeper reflection, a moment to ensure that every detail is understood, that every system is in harmony. The universe is patient. The moon will wait. The other journeys to the moon, the robotic explorers and the plans of other nations would continue their own gentle cadence. The private companies would continue to dream and build. The timeline is not a fragile thread that can be broken, but a flowing river that can find new paths. The true purpose is not to arrive first, but to arrive with wisdom and grace. The contemplation of the moon is not a race to be won, but a mystery to be slowly, collectively, and peacefully unsolved. Imagine the 4 astronauts inside the Orion capsule. They are floating in the quiet dark, looking out the window. In one direction, they see the silent, pockmarked face of the moon, a landscape of ancient tranquility. In the other, they see the earth, a swirl of blue, white, and green hanging in the blackness. There are no borders visible from this distance, no signs of conflict or division, only a single, beautiful, and fragile home. This is the perspective that a lunar journey provides. It is a journey outward that leads to a deeper understanding inward. But the most profound discovery they might make is the silence itself. The deep, unending quiet of the space between worlds. In our daily lives, we are surrounded by constant noise, a never-ending stream of information and distraction. The journey to the moon is an escape into profound stillness. It is an opportunity for the human spirit to simply be, to float in the vastness, and to contemplate our place in the cosmos. This single journey, this quiet loop around the moon, is a reminder of an innate human impulse, the impulse to explore, to wonder, and to seek peace in the great silent unknown. Section: Sleep Fade, Drifting into the Void. Now, let go of these thoughts. Let them drift away, like the capsule coasting through space. The journey is long and quiet. There is nothing to do now but rest. Feel the gentle pull of relaxation, a soft, heavy blanket covering you. Your breathing is slow and deep, in and out, a quiet rhythm like the gentle hum of a sleeping spacecraft. Imagine yourself floating in the warm, dark, silent space behind your eyes. You are weightless, drifting, safe and secure. The worries of the day are like distant stars, faint points of light, fading into the background. You are on a gentle journey, a quiet return to the deep, peaceful world of sleep. Drift now into the quiet dark. The silent moon waits, a beacon for dreams, Let your mind become as still and peaceful as the lunar surface, calm and quiet. Drifting, deeper and deeper. The hum of the universe is a lullaby, a low, steady tone, guiding you down, down, into restful sleep. Whisper, a quiet journey. Float now, let go, just drift. The stars are watching over you as you sleep, deeply, peacefully. Whisper, the silent moon, the quiet dark. Your mind is at peace, your body is at rest, drifting, floating, sleeping now. Whisper, deep, deep, sleep. A quiet journey into the night. Rest now, rest. Whisper, sleep, now, sleep. The journey is over. It is time to rest. Deep, peaceful, sleep.